Go.
Hold on 1 second. Wait till we see this on there. My internet jacked up. Let me put it in.
I got one view.
Huh?
I got one view.
That might be you or my wife or somebody. You'll show anybody? Might just be on you right now. Let me shoot, man. I should say another thing. I'm gonna call Nicole and see what she can hear.
Shalom, Israel. Happy Sabbath.
Shalom.
We want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We're here today to give some edification unto our peoples, the 12 tribe of Israel, because we are not the African Americans, the Mexicans, or the Native Americans. We are the true children of Israel, but we have been put into slumber that we don't know who we are anymore. And the night lesson is the spirit of slumber. That's what we're speaking on tonight. We're going to start off at 11, 6 through 11. Romans 11, 6 through 11.
God. This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, starting at verse 6. And if by grace, then it is no more of works.
All right, Dan. What we've been taught about is that we've been on grace, and this is going to get up into the kingdom. So that means if you're going by grace only, that means, hey, we don't have to love our brothers. We don't have to watch over our brothers. We don't have to keep our wives or worry about our children. We can just lay here, lay there, and go right on ahead. Keep on doing what we've been doing since we've been in this land. Continue.
Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace? Otherwise, work is no more work.
Okay, so that's what that's saying is that if it be no more works, then we don't have to do anything. Then it is by grace. And if it's no more works, then hey, then grace will get us in. But we know that that's not the fact. We know what the works are of getting us out there, giving this word on to another brother who don't have that knowledge of it, and trying to get him also to change back his ways and keep the laws and commandments and the statutes, which we have left. And now we're, by the grace of God, that he's opening up these young prophets that you see well, every Sabbath, just about in every city now, on each corner, prophesying what we need to do. And let's see why we're in this slumber. Continue.
Verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for?
So Israel haven't retained it. The ones whose eyes have been opened, the ears have been opened. Yes, we know who we are now. We know what we have to do to get into this kingdom. And by the grace of God, he's given this opportunity, not only to us, but the ones who are still yet blinded. Continue.
But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
And the ones who don't want to hear, if you want to be blind, he's going to make you blind. He's going to keep you in that state of mind where you don't hear and you don't see. And that's where you want to be at, and that's where he's going to leave you at. Continue.
Verse 8. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber.
The spirit of slumber. That is only means sleep. We've been put to sleep. How we've been put to sleep? By our enemy. What does he tell us? Hey, by all you have to do is believe into God, and you're going to get into the kingdom. Hey, these holidays, you can keep them. You can keep Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, New Year's, Christmas, which God has that not in the scriptures. There's nowhere that you can find these high holy days. These days of a man, because we have the only high holy days. Continue.
Eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
So, hey, you're not going to see it. But if you're not seeing what's going on to this world in these last days and what's happening, and you're walking down the street, you seeing a girl with girls stopping, hugging, kissing each other, man on man. Hey, they got it on TV where they're hugged up and they're doing the same thing. And if you're not hearing it, if you're not seeing it, you're definitely not going to hear it. That means you're not going to hear the word of God, because you are in this slumber where you are satisfied on these laws, not keeping the laws and commandments, but keeping the laws and commandments of this world. Continue.
Verse 9. And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense to them.
And that's telling you, hey, well, if they're doing it, then hey, they're going to fall. There is no hope for them, because this is where they want to be. There is no recompense for them, and that stumbling block is going to stay there, because they're walking in darkness. They're living as the world lives. They don't see the light. They have no light in them. Continue.
And to jump on what you're saying, Elder, and that's so true, because when it talks about let their table be made a snare, hey, the Most High is like, David is saying, it's like what the Most High agrees with. Let them stay what they're doing. Let them stay on the internet all day. Let them be on their cell phones all day. Let them follow the Diddy trial, or the trial and error he's going through. Look at the basketball games that's going on. This is a trap. All these things that Esau brings to the table is a trap to benefit them, because they don't want you to know who you are. So when it speaks about that, this is the Most High saying, let them stay in their slumber. Let them not know who they are, because they don't want to know who they are. If you don't, because when you go to a brother or a sister saying we're the Israelites, they reject it. A lot of them reject it, because the fact that they want to stay in that slumber spirit. Meaning that, hey, if I believe this thing, and we tell them what Deuteronomy 10 and 12 says the requirements is to keep the commandments, that means I got to change. So I want to stay asleep. I want to do what I want to do. So that's what David is saying. It's, hey, let their table be made a snare and a trap. That's a trap when you don't want to change. You want to stay where you at. That's the trap. All right.
Continue.
And the stumbling block and a recompense to them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always.
Hey, stay blind. Keep on doing what you're doing, because he's going to put that state mind on you. Hey, well, hey, if that's where you want to be at, and that's where you're going to die at. Continue.
I say, then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. But rather, though their fall, salvation is coming to the Gentiles for to provide them to jealousy.
And that's saying that the ones who had the northern tribe who had fell away and that had fallen back, now they have a chance to come back and keep these laws, commandments, and the statutes. And they are doing that as of today, because he have opened the eyes of the new prophets, the younger prophet, the younger men who are out here who's teaching the word of God. Let's go to Psalms 121, 3 and 4.
21. You said 121?
Mm-hmm.
What verse?
3, starting at 3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 121, starting at verse 3. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
And that's what keeping the saying about the laws and commandments. The ones who have been woken up and they're keeping these laws and commandments, they will not no slumber. You can't put them back to sleep no more. They know now to keep the laws and commandments. They know about these wicked holidays, these wicked nations that's around and about us, who's over us. Now we can't go back, we can't slumber no more. And may God forbid that we don't, but we pray every day that we don't go back into that sleep. Continue.
Verse 4. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
That's telling you about the Father. He doesn't slumber and he don't sleep. He don't need it. He don't need to. He's with his children. He's watching over us. He's keeping us. He's maintaining us. That everything we need, that he provides for us, as long as we do these laws and commandments, we're all good. But until that time, the ones who don't, they're the ones who suffer and worrying about everything from day to day. Yes, we all have trouble. We have tribulations. Some things we do worry about. But we know now to go to the Father and how to ask for help. And we get understanding from him through his comfort, through his word and his scriptures that carries us through this. All right, let's go to Isaiah 29 and 8 and 16.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, starting at verse 8. It shall even be as when an hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth. But he awaketh, and his soul is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh.
And that's telling you the food he's talking about is not the food that we eat. He's talking about spiritual food. And the spiritual, because he say, I am the food, what you need. This is bread. This is what you eat this in behalf of for my body. And he said, my blood that you drink in remembrance of me. And that's in the remembrance of what he came here for. He came here to give us understanding of the Father and how to go back, because we had lost our way and not keeping the laws, commandments, and the statutes. Okay, let's go to
Keep going.
was it both of them?
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse, still at verse 8. But he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion.
All right, these are the nations who came against us and who are study coming against us today. They taking crafty counsel against us every day on how to keep us in sin, because they know if we stay in sin, the Father is not answering us. That's why he is waking up the multitude of his people, the remnant of us who's coming back to his laws and commandments, because we have hope, and hope is that the Messiah is coming. Continue.
Verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink.
Okay, they're not drinking this strong drink. We're not staggering no more from these laws and commandments and these statutes, is what we're doing, because we were lost and hadn't had another drink. We didn't know who the Most High was. You ask somebody, who's God? Who Moses? In these days and times, they can't even tell you, because they don't even know. And they can't even almost tell you the first commandments. and love thy father with all thy heart, mind, and soul. They stumble. They're lost. They're drunken, and now with strong drink.
And that goes into different doctrines. When you got those doctrines, that's why the Bible is saying, stay yourself. Stay in that doctrine then. Since you don't want to wake up and know that you're the Israelite, that you don't want to keep the commandments, stay in that doctrine. Then it says, and wonder. And keep wondering why these brothers out here saying we the Israelites. Keep wondering why your doctrine is not adding up. Keep wondering why you don't get an understanding when someone asks you a question about your doctrine and you give us a small information and we tell you about your own doctrine, then you say, oh, I didn't know that. Or you say you know that until we ask you another question on top of that. Now you're confounded because the fact that you wonder and then you cry out and you cry and then you are drunken because now when we chop you up with the word, now you're staggering back and forth. Is this true or not? Because your leader already had told you that the Muslim is what it is. Then your Christian church tell you that, hey, Jesus is a white man. Now, when we bring out Revelation 1:14, you're like, I didn't know he was a black man. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? See, you're going to stay in that sleep because you don't want to hear, you just want to argue your point, and that's called a scoffer.
Good. Right. Yeah, keep going with 10.
Verse 10. For the Lord hath poured upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, had thee covered.
And that's what he's saying. That's just what my brother was just saying. We believe in these things that he's saying. He's keeping us from that. The Muslims, the Christian church, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Evangelists. They don't tell you these things. They keeping you asleep and at bay because they telling you all you have to do is believe on Jesus. Hey, and the kingdom is yours. And he don't tell you about the works you need to do. By hey, if your brother's down, you go over there and make sure he's okay. Hey, if another sister see a sister that she's struggling and have her in a bad marriage, she try to build her up and tell her to keep on praying and take it to the Most High because he's the only one who can bring us out of these troubles that we're in. We're in these troubles because we rejected the Father. We would not keep his laws and commandments. Now he's giving us this time, and guess what? We still want to stay asleep. Hey, it's just like somebody sitting over next to you. You wake him up, you nudge him, he wake up for a minute. Hey, and the next you turn around the next second, he's right back in there asleep because he don't want to hear this truth. He believes what this world is giving. Hey, do all what you want to do, but in that last day, all you have to say, hey, God, forgive me, and I'm on my way. And that's what we think. And this is what our enemy has given on to us. And we believe this thing. We take it wholeheartedly. You can't tell a brother in there, hey, works? What works? I don't have to do no works. Hey, I've been saved by grace. Hey, that's all I got to do. He gave me grace. I'm on my way. I can do whatever I want to do. But the Most High said, hey, no, that's not it. Continue.
Verse 11. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he says, I cannot, for it is sealed.
You say it's sealed because only one can open that seal. And that's Yahweh Shai. So the ones who don't know, it's not being learned yet. He's not opened that book to them yet. This book is only for the ones that hear his voice and that he comes on to him and start keeping these laws, commandments, and the statutes. Continue.
And to jump what you're saying to Elder to throw out there, that's also when you go to a pastor and you ask him, hey, can you tell me what this means? Mm-hmm. Can you break this down? And you know what? That's why in these churches, they don't have an opportunity for you to raise your hand. They don't give you the opportunity to raise your hand. It's set up for that. You're in a so-called gospel concert where everybody hooting and shouting and dancing and singing, and the pastor is sitting up on the pulpit like he's in a service, like everybody's serving him. He sits on a chair like he's the king and he's the man on that throne in the pulpit, and he has his other leaders with him. So when it's time for him to go, everybody got to stand. Everybody got to give they warm welcome to him. He stands up like he's the man, like he's about to teach you something.
And the thing is, it's set up for you to just to hear him and not ask questions. Because guess what would happen? Everybody would be out if he can't answer that question.
Right.
Last time I was taught that, hey, they said church is a place of learning. School was a place of learning. What do your parents tell you to do? If you have any kind of questions and you don't understand, raise your hand. Mm-hmm. So why we can't do that in the church? Reason why we can't do it in the church, because the pastor don't know the answer. You give him a deep answer like this to break down, he's not going to be able to break that down.
True. He's
going to say, hey, brother, you need to go ahead and pray. Keep studying on that, and God is going to give you the answer you're looking for. That's what God told me. Nah, you are that, what he's talking about. I don't know, because the book is sealed, because you don't have the understanding. You've been in slumber. All you doing is robbing the people, taking all their money, and you don't have the understanding. You cannot, God do not come in nobody's dream and say, you are ordained to be a pastor. You have to come and know the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what Psalms 111:10 says. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's how you're going to understand this Bible, by keeping the commandments. God don't deal with you by yourself. He deals with you through his law, statutes, and commandments, because you're being obedient to him. Amen.
Good. Right. Continue. 12.
13.
13.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Psalms 44, 17 through 23.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 44, starting at verse 17. All this is come upon us, yet we have not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant.
He's saying right there, all this comes upon us, ye that have not forgotten thee. That ones who haven't forgot God, who haven't dealt falsely with him, who have kept his covenant, who's keeping his laws and commandments and his statutes, and trying to do his will, and his will towards his brother and his sister. Continue.
Verse 18, our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way.
We're still working and trying to keep his laws and commandments. He's doing this daily. And you have to, this is a daily job. When you wake up, you have to give, first of all, give him the Father most all his praise and glory. And then ask him to keep you in his ways, keep you in his commandments and statutes. This is how we do it. Continue.
All right. Verse 19. Though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death.
Hey, that's what we do every day when we walking into this land that we're in. That's not ours. We're walking into the shadow of death, because we don't know if when we go out that door, if we're going to be able to come back. We don't know if our wives, our children, going to be hurt, or something's going to happen to them, or somebody's going to try to stick up. We have to worry about that now every time we go out the door. It used to be a time when, hey, I was young, you could go out the door, your neighbor was watch over you, child. Hey, if you done something wrong before you even got home, your mother and father knew about it. Now it's not that way. It used to be a time you can go out and leave your door open. That's no more. You have to make sure you got padlocks on the back and in the front and the windows. Because, hey, you got to watch out for even your neighbor who says he's your brother, but, hey, as soon as you leave, he's trying to break into your door.
And to jump what you're saying, like it says in 19, though thou hast sore broken us in the place of dragons. Mm-hmm. We are in the place of the midst of these other nations. They are the dragons.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They bring every entertainment you can think of to keep us distracted. They keep us in that slumber. They even try to make it to the point where we can't hear the street teach no more. They're trying to pass that bill. If we say anything that's outside of the Bible, you're getting locked up. This is one of their targets. And their other target is where now, I don't know if everybody's been witnessing them, they've been having where they're cutting off the cell phones, internet. Mm-hmm. So they know that Israelites is congregating over the phone, having gatherings over meeting calls and all that, etc. They try to stop that. They try to be doing test after test because they're trying to get rid of the book. They never thought about getting rid of the Bible until the Israelites in the streets saying we are the Israelites. Now we gotta go ahead and burn them like we did back in the days. Now we gotta make sure we gotta find some kind of way where these people don't connect to that. This is where we are. We are in the place of dragons, and we're covered up. And it says, "And covered us with the shadow of death," because we're covered around evil everywhere around us. No matter where we go, is death right there. But thank God, those that's keeping the commandments, God is protecting us. As long as we keep the commandments, He's going to keep protecting us in the shadow of the shadow of death.
Good, right. Go to 20. Read 20.
Verse 20. If we have forgotten the name of our God,
Yahweh,
or stretched out our hands to a strange God,
Jesus Christ, he was never known by our people as Jesus Christ. His name was always Yahweh. He's always been with us. He's always haven't left us. Even though we turned on him, he never turned on us. We the one who murmured in the wilderness against Moses and didn't want to keep the laws even out there. We always wanted to go back to our enemies and worship other gods as we do today. We talk about Yahweh, but hey, we talk to our peoples out here on the corners and byways and highways. They don't want to hear that. They only know one God, their God that's here in this land, that have kept us up under their foot, kept us down in poverty, kept us stricken with sickness and health. Our health is not good because we don't know what we're eating. We don't even know about the water we're drinking. If this is what we have to deal with day by day. But he say, hey, the ones who know me, the ones who are protected, I'm going to take care of my peoples. They're going to be good. All right, let's go to Romans 13. 13, 11, and 4. 11 and 14.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, starting at verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Hey, wake up out of sleep, because that's what we're in. We've been put into this deep sleep, where we don't know who we are. This is another thing on what the man has done to us. He has kept us from being awoken because we didn't want to wake up. We wanted to stay asleep. Hey, come over here, brother. Give us a minute of time. No, I ain't got time. I'm going to the store because the day is the Sabbath. They don't worry about that. They don't think about it. And they know the day is the Sabbath. But guess what? That's the sleep they've been put in. Hey, yeah, I can shop and do anything on any day I want to. And the Sabbath is nothing but another day to them. They don't even know the Sabbath has been separated. It's a holy day that God gave to his people, a day of rest. That, hey, we have 6 days to labor. On that 7th day is the day of rest, and to be at peace, and to gather yourselves together. Done with that?
No. You said what, through 14, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Verse 12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light.
All right, let's cast away what we've been doing. Let's stop doing the things we have been doing. Let's put on the light. What is the light? The light is the light of the Father, his laws, commandments, and his statutes. It always comes back to the laws, commandments, and the statutes because we've been walking in darkness. It's been full daylight out there. Guess what we're doing? We're walking around talking to ourselves. You can see brothers walking up and down the street, standing up there right face to face with a tree, talking or looking up in the sky because we're bugged out. They have had us so we're in a mental stage of mental war because we are sick people. Not only from what they're giving to us, but from we're being lost as a nation of people. We don't know how to come back. And we're gone now. And we're out here, the drugs they're giving us is no good, it's never been a good drug. And I've been through drugs and seen through it. And they went and seen it as a young man when heroin was the drug of choice. After they seen that at that state of time, that the younger people now wasn't using that, guess what they done? They came on with cocaine, crack. Guess what? The next epidemic, the next devil that they gave on push onto our neighborhoods. And guess where we're at? We're still in that stage now, just like heroin was the stage of 20 and 30 years. Hey, the same thing with crack right now. It's still here. But now they're using multiple drugs to get us hooked on. We're taking pills now. We're doing all kinds of stuff to get high, sniffing a can, going to your refrigerator, opening up your valves on there, sniffing that. Hey, this world is crazy. It's gone. We are in darkness, and we need to come to the light. And the only way we're going to get to this light is through the Most High.
Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 28. I'm going to back up what he's saying about we blind. Even though it's light outside, we still blind to the fact of things that's going on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
So the Most High is going to instruct us with this. If we're not following after him, he's going to give us that madness. We're going around here talking to ourselves, going off and going crazy. And the blindness, we're going to walk with a pitch. It's daylight and we walking in darkness. We don't see nothing. We don't see nothing coming towards us. No laws, no nothing. We ain't keeping nothing. So we just walking in darkness. If we keep doing that, we're going to fall by the wayside. So we want to come back to the Father to get the understanding why I was walking in darkness. That was a curse he gave us, that we didn't follow after him. He gonna put madness on us. He gonna put that darkness on us, and it's in establishing that heart. This is the Most High's doing, because we didn't want to follow him. He's gonna put that curse on us. We gonna be walking around with madness. We always angry, at no fair reason. We always mad at something. We blind, think we know something, but we don't. When it comes to these laws, commandments, the worldly man gonna tell you, oh, we can eat pork and we can pray. Oh, no. The Most High said, and Yahweh Shah said in Matthew, he told you until heaven and earth is gone, and it's not. And people thinking they can do whatever they want, and then last come out can just pray, and he gonna forgive me. He's not gonna forgive you. That's why you say you gotta make haste to follow the laws once you got the understanding who you are, because once you learn how who you is. Now it's time to come back to the Father again, because he told us, he said, it's worse for the ones that did not know who they is, because in that last day, you're going to get judged the worstest. So right now, when we out there speaking to our people, wake up. These are not the words we speaking. We speaking the Most High's word.
Okay. This is precept 11 and 25 in Romans.
And the precept, Marshall.
11:25.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant.
Don't stay ignorant. Don't stay ignorant to these laws and to these ways of this government and what they're telling you. They're telling you things to distract you. They know who we are. How do they distract us? On the telephone, on these TV shows, even when they had the eclipse. They even had us going out there looking at the eclipse while they're distracted, while they're sitting in the White House making laws against us, how to keep us trapped, how to keep us in this land. Because they know without us, this land will fall. And it's going to happen, isn't it? This land is coming to a destruction. Not because of us, because of the Most High. He knows it's wicked. He knows what's being done to us in this land. He knows all the schemes and ins and outs of this Caucasian man. So, hey, his days are numbered. We just have to keep the laws and commandments and statutes, the ones who have been woken up, because 2/3 of us are not going to make it, because we want to stay in this sleep. We don't want to come out of it. You can't tell us anything. We love this world. America is the greatest world in the world, greatest country in the world. They ain't going to mess with us over here. We're too powerful, but we're not too powerful for God. His hand is on this land, and it's not for profit. It's for destruction. Continue.
Of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own counsel. Consent. That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
Blindness have happened to Israel. We have been blinded through our not keeping the laws, commandments, and the statutes. we don't know how to get back to the Most High. And if we're told about how to do it, I don't do it. I start tomorrow. Oh, I don't want to. I might stop eating pork tomorrow, And then I've had people say I ain't gonna never stop eating it because hey, that's the best part of the pork, pig. So hey, they ain't gonna do it. Shrimp, crab legs, you see them, you can't tell them anything. You can't tell them this is the waste of the world, the waste of the land. They bottom feeders them on everything. Hey, no, they don't want to hear that. They're gonna tell you, I'm going to get me some shrimp right now. That's what you have to do. You have to let it go because you have warned them. If somebody you give them warning and they keep running into the same wall and they back off of it and go right back and hit the head again, guess what they do? They gonna keep doing it. I don't care what you say or what you do, they're gonna stay in that one corner, bag up, and walk right back into it again.
Yep.
Because they're happy doing it. You can't tell them anything else. Okay. Let's go to Romans. No, we've been there. Let's go to Thessalonians.
Well, let me even jump on that with you.
No, Ecclesiastes.
Like,
okay.
Read that again in 25. Marshall.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery.
So don't think that you're ignorant, like when it means by like how wise you are. Don't be thinking like, hey, I got this figured out. I know everything was going on. Don't think that, right? Go ahead.
Least ye should be wise in your own
conceits. Meaning that you have your own understanding, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
Why is blindness in part has happened to Israel? Because we don't keep the commandments. So go ahead.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
Until Israel repents. Mm-hmm. Until we all, the northern and the southern kingdom, become one accord, one-minded, that we are the Israelites. We've been trapped in the doctrine of the so-called red man. We've been trapped in the doctrine of the so-called Arabic man. We've been trapped in the doctrine of the so-called African man. We've been trapped in the doctrine to the so-called Chinese man. All these people that filters up with doctrine. Also, give me a precept. Give me Revelation 7 real quick. Go to verse 1. Until Israel come back together. This is where the mystery is. The mystery is that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of God. And Christ is coming to save us. Not to everybody, but the Blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans that's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, give me that Revelation.
This is Revelations chapter 7, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth.
That is the army, holding the 4 winds so the war don't break out until the so-called Gentiles, which is the northern kingdom, and the southern kingdom get on their thing. All right, go ahead.
That the wind should not blow on the earth.
That's talking about the missiles. Don't let the missiles, the warheads come and knock them off. Go ahead.
Nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Uh-huh.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
You see how God got that set up? See, everybody thinks it's the white man going to destroy this earth. This is God.
That's right.
You got God setting up 4 angels. They're required for their time to do that. God got angels set up for this to do that and that to do this. So you got one angel that's in charge of those angels that, hey, do not do nothing until they wake up. Right? Go ahead.
Saying, hurt not the earth.
Meaning, don't hurt the people. Don't hurt don't hurt the people. Do not hurt. Don't destroy the earth. Go ahead.
Neither the sea,
uh-huh,
nor the trees,
uh-huh,
till we have sealed the servants of our God.
Until what?
Till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
And let's talk about the law, statutes, and commandments in their minds. That's what the elder talking about. When we going into why it says that until the Gentiles. So that's the mystery. That's part of the mystery. So Israel, we got to wake up. That's why we out here. You have no excuse where you can't go on YouTube and look at any Israelite video and see that we are the Black Hispanics and the Black Hispanics and Native Americans are the Israelites. There's no way you can miss that. We out there in your street corners. While you're walking by and saying you're too busy, you in that slumber. Wake up out of that slumber, because when that missiles hit, you're going to finally wake up, but it's going to be too late. Now you're going to your dirt nap.
All right.
Go ahead. Oh, that's it. That's it.
That's it. And like we're saying, because you hear us all the time, we're using just a certain name of African American Israelite, Native Indians, Israelites, or the Hispanic Israelites. But let me give you these names too. Reuben, Israelite. Simeon, Israelite. Levite, Israelite. Judah, Issachar. Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Ephraim, and Manasseh. These are the true Israelites. And we're not just here in America. We're all over the world. He has spread us in the four corners. But guess what? Just like here, we've been called African Americans. Wherever these brothers at, the sisters at, they've been called the same name. The bywords, that's not their name. God gave us a different name. He gave us Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's who we are. So because we've sat here and we use just them three names, yeah, it's millions of us. And we use under different names, under different parts of the world, because that's where he scattered us from. And on that, let's go to Ecclesiasticus 2:1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation.
Be prepared for temptation, because it's going to come. He's going to tempt. Temptation is going to come to you. And it's going to come to you from what you used to do until what you just done yesterday. If it was wicked, guess what? That temptation going to come back to you. If you idle and not in this book and keeping these laws, commandments, and statutes, guess what? That temptation is going to hit you right then and there, because you're not going to have the foundation. This is the foundation what we stand up on, of keeping these laws, commandments, and the statutes. It's his word, his promise unto his peoples. And we have to do this as a nation. Now, individual life, yeah, we can do it, but we need each other. We need to gather together. We need to come together on one accord. And that's on the Sabbath, to keep these laws, commandments, and to learn them, to take them out, and to share them. Because if we keep the word to ourselves, then we have no works. Our works is done, it's no good to us. You say, hey, now if you go on, hey, you just say, on grace? No, grace ain't gonna get you there, because he's only giving you time to get yourself together. He's not giving you time, hey, to keep on out here doing what you're doing. He's giving you time to come back unto the laws, commandments, and statutes. Continue.
That was it. What did you read 2:1?
You also, you didn't go, oh yeah, you went to 1.
Yeah,
Go to, yeah,
keep
go
going.
down to 3, yes.
Verse 2, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
And don't worry about it. In time of trouble, this is when you need to go. You need to come to the Most High, because he gonna get us out of trouble if we're loyal in keeping his laws, commandments, and statutes. And trouble is out there every time you go out the door. You know, somebody who you used to hang with, guess what? Hey, come on, hey, I know you're Israelite, but hey, come on over. The boys is over here. Let's have a drink. Hey, let's go. You know, that's temptation. And you go through it. If you're not grounded into this word, hey, you'll find yourself back out there doing the same thing you were doing before. Continue. 3.
Verse 3, cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
Okay, that means, hey, cleave onto the word and the laws and commandments. Cleave onto your brother who sits right next to you. If he's keeping the laws and commandments, because you're going to need him. Because he's the one who's going to keep you up when you're down. He's the one who's going to have your back when you're short on something. He's the one who's going to be there when your car breaks down. He's going to be the one that be there when you need to talk to somebody. To remember, hey, these laws and commandments are all we got. We got each other. But we only sustain each one of us by the laws, commandments, and the statutes. Not by each of us being there. It's by the faith that we have that he gave each one of us. And we hold it together, and we hold it within ourselves, but also we take it out to the street and try to give it on to our brothers, our sisters, who will listen, who will take ear to it. And say, hey, like I say, we are stubborn peoples. We don't want to do. We want to do what we want to do. It's the old saying, who is the most stubbornest peoples in the world? And they'll tell you, African American Negroes, right here. It's because we are stubborn. We don't want to do what God says. We want to do what we do, and God comes later. No, if you love God, God comes first.
I got a precept for that. Put it on. Ezekiel 12.
All right, let me grab it for you. What verse?
Still, you start at 1.
Okay. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, starting at verse 1. The word of the Lord came, Salakia. The word of the Lord also came unto me, saying, Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house.
So the Most High is telling Ezekiel that you is dwelling in the house of rebellious people.
Mm-hmm.
So they not going to listen to you. Go ahead.
Which have eyes to see and see not.
So they got eyes to see but don't see not. When I come to my people and give them this laws and commandments again and tell them who they is, they don't see it. Like, no, they ain't talk about me. Let's talk about somebody else. They ain't talk about me. But it's saying clear as day, black and white, how our people went into captivity for disobeying the Most High. When we showing you your heritage, your background, your story, you don't want to hear it when we come to you. Well, if somebody else come to you and show you something different, you want to hearken and listen to that. But we come to you and tell you, hey, you got to come back to the Most High. You don't want to hear that because all the laws and commandments you got to keep now. It sounds all good when you get all this, but when it's come to the commandments, you like, no, I can't keep those commandments. I love my pork. I love my shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
I love my lobster, all this and this. I love sleeping around. But you love the Most High. You love God. But you doing the opposite of what he's saying. Go ahead.
They have ears to hear and hear not.
So you got ears to hear, but you hear not. That means you hear the word, but you don't want to hearken to it. Yo, I hear what you're saying. It sounds nice, but I ain't going to do it. I'm going to stay in my way.
For they are a rebellious house.
We are a rebellious house. Every time we go out to the street corner to preach the word to our people, they are rebellious. They want to fight us. They want to cuss us out. Because we give them the word of the Lord. This is not our words. We did not write this book. We speaking the words to our people. We got the knowledge and understanding from our elders. Now we teaching it to our people. And they don't want to hearken and listen. But you'll go quick to a Sunday church and listen to that pastor tell you all their stuff and give you a little story and give you a song and dance. And you feel good after that. But if we tell you this hard truth, you don't want to hearken and listen to that. You thinking we being hard on, but we not. This is the Most High giving us the word, the understanding to give to our people. Because he told us to go out there and teach to our people.
That's it.
But they are a rebellious house. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. That's alone. 5, 4 through 11.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, starting at verse 11.
Verse 4.
Salakia, verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, Salakia, let me read that again. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief.
Not in darkness once you keep these laws and commandments. That means, hey, can't nobody pull nothing over your eyes no more. Hey, they can't tell you it's okay to celebrate Christmas. Thanksgiving, which we all know is the day they slaughtered the native Indians, Americans. They can't tell you no more that that was okay. They can't tell you Christmas is the day that Christ was given and that, hey, you can give gifts on this day. You can do that. No, that day is the day they worship their devils. They counting up evil works on that day. But we think, hey, oh, they gave us this day to celebrate the coming of the Most High, the Messiah. No, that's a wicked and evil day. It's not for us to celebrate. And we got to come up out of these days and start keeping these high holy days that the Father gave us. Continue.
Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness.
No, because when we come in this world, we come in with a spirit of knowing that who put us here. Now, these children that come in the world, they don't know who they are. You know, they're lost. You find a lot of our children, Israelite children, who now committing suicide because they have no hope. They don't know where they are, where they're going. And that's even in childhood, father, mother, because they don't know who their dad is. He had left them. The mother's out at the club. She's partying. So, hey, you're not in the dark. You are the children of light. But we have to start living in this light and come out of that darkness. Continue.
Verse 6, therefore let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Continue.
For they that sleep, sleep in the night.
Them that who sleep, they're sleeping in the night, and that's even in the daytime. They sleep to these laws, commandments, and the statutes. They're asleep into loving their brother. They're asleep in watching out for their neighbors. They're asleep and not trying to deal with your neighbor's wife, or peeking out the curtain, looking at their 13-year-old daughter walk past your house. That's wickedness. That's the sleep. Again, we're coming out of that sleep now. And how we're going to do it? By these laws and commandments. Where do we get them from? From the prophets of today. The ones who's out there preaching and teaching and trying to teach our peoples, hey, wake up. It's time to come out this slumber. Continue.
And they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
They who drank is drinking around, walking around, not knowing who they are. And it's not being drunken with liquor. It's being drunken and losing your identity. Not knowing that you are Israelite. Thinking you are African American. Thinking you are Muslim. Thinking you are Seventh-day Adventists. They think that's just a nation. You ask some of our people, what's your nationality? They tell you a Christian. Is that drunkenness? And that's not even drunk with wine. You know, we got to come out of this that way. We're Jamaicans. We're Native Indians. We're African Americans. We're Mexicans. No, we are the children. We are the light. Because the light was in us from the beginning. But he gave us the choice. A lot of us was taken not by choice. We was taught in a way that was not by choice. It's time to wake up. Come back into this light that we come into. Continue.
Verse 6, therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
All right, he's saying, hey, let us be who we are doing today. Be sober, putting on the breastplate of heaven, putting on the whole armor of Yahweh. This is how we get away and survive the things that we're going to. And the whole plate is of Yahweh is his laws, commandments, and the statutes, because that's what he came here to do. He first came to give us the laws, commandments, and statutes, then free us from our enemies. Get us out of a forbidden place, that we go back into a land where we can worship our God, the only true living God, Yahweh, and his son King of Kings, Lords of Lords, Yahweh Shai. And all praises to that. And then we do this and we start today. Don't wait what you can put off right now until tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised to you. We have to go and do this thing starting right now as a people, as a nation, as the Israelites, who God gave us is his name, and we are his peoples. Continue.
And understand that breastplate. That breastplate is the commandments.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the breastplate is. That's when you get the faith and love. You have faith that you understand that you believe in the law, statutes, and commandments, even though we didn't see the Father give it to us right now. We believe that. We stand on that still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that we have love, because love is keeping the commandments, rebuking the brother, meaning correcting them, you know, removing sin away from our lives. When we are in the midst of heat around other nations, or we're in the midst of heat with our own people, knowing that when they about to break the law, we got to move away from that, because we got the breastplate of armor on us. That's the laws, man. We know, like, hey, they breaking that law, I got to move. Now, let's say you're around people that's wicked. Your family may be wicked. Your friends in the world may be wicked. That doesn't mean that you got to isolate yourself away from them. But I'll tell you this. If you're not fully grounded in this truth, yeah, you might want to leave away from them until you get grounded, because it don't take much when you're not fully grounded in this word to fall back in when you left.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be grounded, because once you start seeing the wickedness kicking in, that's your key to go. That's what the Bible, I think it's Sirach 27. Mind your time. Mind your time with the people. Because you know why? These people are asleep. They're in that slumber spirit. They worried about getting high on the block all day. They worried about getting drunk and just constantly drinking all day through the night, sitting on the porch with the radio out on the porch, and you just sitting there on the chair. Everybody got a 40 ounce or whatever, and they just drink it up and got a blunt rolled up. That's what a lot of our people do when they sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the word of God. So when you come there, they're like, oh, here he go. Yep. It's like you're like Joseph and them, like Joseph brothers. Oh, here comes the dreamer.
Uh-huh.
Here come that Israelite dude. We about to start talking. Put the blunt up, man. Well, no, I'm gonna leave mine out because I want to see if he gonna hit it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I want to see if he gonna hit it. And then when he do hit it, then you know he back.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? When you see them slumbering spirits on the brothers, hey, mind your time. We have to understand that our families, they don't even know what they're doing. It's the spirits on them. Because they already against what you believe. Especially your mom and your dad. When they raise you up in a different way that you learned now, they don't want to hear that when they don't see that. It's like, how you going to tell me about the Bible when I taught you the Bible? But they taught you wrong. So understand this, man. We have to be that children of light. The children of light is letting your light shine. Wearing your fringes around them, that's letting your light shine. Just even having fringes on your shirt around unbelievers, that's letting your light shine. And you know you're letting your light shine when they ask you, what is them on your shirt? You give them that Numbers 15. Let them know, this make me remember the commandments. I ain't sleep. I'm awoke. Now I know what I'm supposed to wear. So that's what that's going into. We gotta stay awake. Because that breastplate is the law, statutes, and commandments.
I'm going to show you that in Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6 and 14, the breastplate.
Okay, come. Ephesians 6. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, starting at verse 14. Standing therefore, your loins girt about the truth. So like about with truth. And having on the breastplate of righteousness.
Right there, the breastplate of righteousness is the laws and the commandments. That's the way he's going Paul referencing that in Thessalonians. That's what he's telling you. Put on a whole armor of God when it goes out in this world. Because this world, if you're not, like Mike Allen said, if you're not rooted in this truth, you will be blown out of the truth so quick, because you listen to all these doctrines that's going on and it sounds good to you, and you just gone just like that. So this is why you have to be rooted. You have your loins girded when it comes to this truth. When it comes, you have to stand 10 toes down in this. because you can get taken out quick out of this, real quick. Because you got some people out there good, soft talking to you and get you listening. Oh, that sound good. But if you're not rooted, it's going to take you up out of this truth. Now you talk about some other stuff. Like I was seeing a video today talking about Christ sin. Show me where Christ sinned. There's nowhere in the Bible, nowhere showing when he sinned. Talking about some when they was drinking wine, they ran out. Talking about some he made them drunks. How did he make them drunks? There's nowhere showing them they was drunk. This is why you got to be rooted in this truth, because that right there would have took you out right in there.
And that's what you call a slumber brother that say something stupid like that. Because them type of brothers that think that it's a sin to drink. Oh, you can't be drinking. That's a sin.
Right.
That's no sin. You can. That's grapes. That's the fruit of the vine. It's no sin. Now, when you intake more and you rely on it, that's the sin. Right. You allow that to be your helpmeet. Instead of praying to the Most High, open up the scriptures, and when you're going through things and day in and day out, you want to run to the Bible. That's the sin. But to say a brother, he's drinking, he's a sinner. That's the fact. That's why he's saying that. The brother believed that it's a sin to drink because he the one takes the drink all the way to the end. He wants to be drunk. So don't put label Christ as that. That's you. That's your own wickedness.
That's right. God. We went back to
Thessalonians.
Yeah. Back to Thessalonians.
In verse 9.
Verse 9.
It's that's the first Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 9. For God hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ.
God haven't had us to fall off. He don't wish that to kill his people. He want them for salvation. He want them to come on back to him. He waits days. Anytime we get a brother out there who changes his life, the angels rejoice. And that's the point of us being out there. Hey, just like my brother said, hey, why do we wear these fringes? For remembrance, that we keep the laws and commandments. And then if we give this to our brother and give them that who has the ear to hear, and they can understand, guess what? They're going to come back. Because we're only right now, we're only there, we're planting the seed. It might be somebody else who have to water it. And it's going to be somebody else who nature. But overall in all, it's going to be the Messiah who's given what they truly need. That breath of life that he keeps it in them. And they're keeping that, and that is the laws, commandments, and the statutes. Keep on.
Verse 10. Who died for us?
Who died for us, who came and died upon the cross, beaten, bruised for our iniquity, for our sins, for our slumber, for our sleep. Even back then, and guess what? We're still doing today. We're worse than our forefathers. We're doing more wicked than they did. And we don't even see it. And we ask why we're in this condition. We are in this condition because we don't trust God. We trust that man up in the White House saying, hey, you will get this X amount of money next month. That's what we look for. We don't look for everlasting life through the Lord who promised this to us if we keep his laws, commandments, and his statutes. A life without an end. Immortality. We don't want to live. We want to die. And we don't care how we die. We don't care about being on the street corner, being shot down by a brother. Some of us boast ourselves on that. I'm going to die out here on this corner. You know, you're going to die out there on the corner. For what? For something that you can't take with you? For a child that you're not already taking, now she don't have a chance to know you. Or he don't have a chance to know you. Or now you don't even have a chance to change your life. Because you have made this choice that, hey, I don't need this. I'm happy in what I'm doing. Continue.
Hey, let me give me a precept real quick. Give me Jeremiah 16 and 12. We're gonna start at 10 first. Jeremiah 16:10. We're gonna start there first. I want to land there. We can land at 13 because I'm going back what the elder said. We worse than our forefathers. Some people don't believe that. Nah, we ain't worse than our forefathers. All right, because you know we so quick to judge our forefathers in this Bible. I would never do nothing like that.
Yes, you would.
If it was me, I would have did this. If it was me, I would have said this. If it was me, I wouldn't said nothing. I would have walked away from it. Read that, brother.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 10.
These are slumbering spirits. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore had the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us?
So this is the kind of questions they would ask you. Because the first thing first, Christians always use Satan as the killer. Satan is busy out here. Because they don't even understand that God is the main killer.
That's right. God.
And then this is how they contradict that. Well, we know that Satan can't do it without permission, without God. Then guess what? If he okays it, then guess what? Is he as guilty as Satan? Ain't he the one that orchestrates the evil when evil needs to be there? Because we forget that all the Christians think is God is good all the time. Show me that when he's good to you all the time, when you're not keeping the commandments. Because guess what he's going to do? He's going to bring that evil until you recognize your fault. And if you don't recognize your fault, he's going to keep that evil until you die. So this is what the people said. Wherefore have the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Where God did? I ain't see God do this. I see Satan do that. Go ahead.
Or what is our iniquity?
What is our sin? You so asleep, you don't even know what sin is. You busy messing around and eating pork and everything on the 4th of July, and now we come over there and tell you can't eat that. Oh, God said all things is good. But everything we eat is all good for the body. Don't have no understanding. That's your sin, because you don't even know that it says in Leviticus 11 you're not supposed to eat that. And when you're eating it, you're in sin. You don't even know what sin is, because you were slumbered. You're lost and you sleep. Go ahead.
Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God?
That's why you every time I'm a good person, or saying I'm highly favored. How you doing today? Says, oh, I'm all blessed and highly favored. You blessed and highly favored, but you ain't keeping no commandments. How is you blessed and you ain't keeping no commandments? How is you a favor to God, and God said those that don't keep the commandments, he's going to put them to death. So you not favored by God. Last time I checked in Psalms chapter 5 and verse 5, he hates all workers of iniquity. The workers. So don't say that you highly in favor, but you ain't keeping no commandments. Keep going.
Then shall thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
How they forsake them? Because they didn't keep the commandments. Go ahead.
Sent the Lord, and have walked after other gods.
You walking after other gods. You don't even believe in the God of this Bible. You don't even know what the God of the Bible looked like. You don't even care what he looked like. Because that's why he said, why does it matter what color is? You don't even care, because the Bible gives you a description, and you're really saying, I don't want to believe that God is black. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe what I grew up in when that picture was on the wall. I believe that's Jesus. And then you mix it up and say, that's God. That's off. Now God and Jesus are the same. He's a father and he's a son. How can you be a father and a son at the same time as I'm your father and I'm your son? I'm the son of God. So he's a son of himself? That don't make sense. Is he talking to himself when he says, I do all things what my father say? So that don't make sense, because you are asleep. When we bring this truth, the first thing you think of, y'all aggressive. y'all speak hate. And you don't even hear the message. The message is that we don't call and say, you, come here, you nigga. Come here, let me tell you how wicked you are. We'll say, hey, you got a minute? You the one create that conversation for us to get on you. Nah, I ain't got time. Or you walk by and say something slick, and then when we get on you, then you talking about we a hate group. But you gonna say, y'all don't know what y'all talk about, don't listen to them. Mm-hmm. But then we get on you, now we a hate group. The reason why you say that because you sleep. Excuse me, go ahead.
And have served them.
You serve the other nations' gods by going into their doctrines and their religions. Go ahead.
And have worshipped them.
You worship them by doing the works of it and praise it and be happy. We got what's coming up? Memorial Day. Another one of these days that our people are going to be worshiping. Because the white man gives us the opportunity to have that day off. So we about to open them grills up and cook all this pork we can get. Go ahead.
Then you're going to spend every dime that you made being off that day promoting this thing. Everything you had done and worked for, instead of you taking care of your household, now, hey, you got a man out here who got the little money he got. He's going to the store, he's going to buy the ribs, the sausage, the pork sausage. Hey, you're going to spend $300, but now your children don't have food for the rest of the week. That's the design. That's designed for us to do this. It's designed for us to put whatever we get and give it right back to the enemy. He keeps us down that way. He keeps us financially. Sleep. We don't know what to do or how to go to another brother, support him, support his business. Now we're going to the same man. Yes, he gave us the job, but guess as soon as you get it, guess who you give it back to? Guess what neighborhood you're supporting? You're not supporting your neighborhood you live in. You're supporting the neighborhood that he comes from. To come into your neighborhood to sell, to bring his drugs, to whore out your women's, to molest your children, to take anything or any hope that you have in this book right here. Because why? Because he's got you asleep in thinking that he's God, that he's going to make everything all right. He's not. He's going to put you deeper and deeper into sin. Keep going.
And have forsaken me, and have not kept my law.
Yeah, what?
And have not kept my law.
No, you ain't got to keep the commandments. All right?
And ye have done worse than your fathers.
That's why you done worse than your fathers. Because you still don't want to keep the law. You want to do what you want to do. You want to stay asleep. Go ahead.
For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me.
That's being slumber. I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to see what you bringing out. That's why they say, don't bring that Bible out, because they don't want to hear the word. They want to hear it from you. Because they sleep. Because even if you bring it out, they're not going to hear it. And even if you show them, they're not going to see it. You have to be humble. You have to take that contention spirit away in order to listen. If you don't listen, if you keep that contention, you're not going to listen or see what the point is being put out. You're going to always say the Israelites are a hate group because the white man told you to see it his way. So therefore, you're asleep looking in the Israelite way. You're awoke looking at the evil way. Go ahead.
Therefore will I cast you out of this land unto a land that ye know not, neither ye your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor.
So don't say you're highly favored, blessed and highly favored, because he's not going to show you favor when you don't keep the commandments. I'll land there.
I got Baruch chapter 1.
What verse?
You can start at 16.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 1, starting at verse 16. And to our kings, and to our princes, and to our priests, and to our prophets, and to our fathers.
So this Baruch is a scribe of Jeremiah. So he's reciting what Jeremiah is telling him what to write.
For we have sinned before the Lord and disobeyed him, and have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God to walk in the commandments that he gave us openly.
So they openly saying that we ain't do nothing what the Most High told us to do.
Since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt until this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our God, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice.
Right there. Since we left, and even out of Egypt walking out, we was being there disobedient. It's a lot. It's a reason why we was in the wilderness for 40 years before we made it to the promised land. We've been so disobedient and hard-headed. Make idols out there in the wilderness. Got all your gold earrings up and made a golden calf. The Most High is about to take us out right then and there. He told Moses, I'm going to take them out and give you another people. And Moses pleaded with him not to take us out in that wilderness because we was so wicked down there. We couldn't wait for Moses to come down there and give us them commandments. And still being disobedient today. We neglect to hear his voice. When we go out there and preach this word, y'all cover your ears up. Y'all don't want to hear what's going on. We like it just when we in Jeremiah, we worse than our forefathers. We don't want to stop and listen. We'll stop to listen to the negative. We'll stop to listen to the other stuff and get us off track. But when it comes to getting this truth, I don't want to hear nothing. Go ahead.
Verse 20, wherefore the evils cleaved unto us, and the curse, which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt.
You're talking about Deuteronomy 28, them curses, starting with 15. They knew already, like, these curses is only what Moses told us. And we can't shake them. Go ahead.
To give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is to see this day. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God.
So they never hearken. We never hearken. Look at us today. We go out there and speak the word to our people. They don't want to hear us. They want like, y'all niggas, I don't know what y'all talking about. I can do whatever I want. All I got to do is say, forgive me, and I can go about my day. But right here, he's stating, we wicked. We extremely wicked, and we don't know what to do. We're going to stay in our sin. We need some help. They call it out for help. But our people don't want to call out for help. They want to stay in their sin because it feels good to them. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God, according to all the words of the prophets, whom he sent unto us. But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart.
Right there. You will go after your own heart instead of going after the words of the Most High because it don't sound good to you. So you want to make it sound good. Like he said, your ways are not my ways. And I don't want to screw it up. But he's telling you, you cannot understand my ways. But your ways, you're going to try to understand. Ain't no way you're going to live on this earth and try to do your way because you're going to stumble and fall every time because you thinking your way is good and you're not hearkening to the Most High telling you don't do that. But you're like, I'm good. I can do this. I can do this. Ain't no way. And you know what's wrong. You're going to still continue to do it. Go ahead.
To serve strange gods and to do evil in the sight of the Lord our God.
See, right there. You want to serve these other gods. And he told you not to do it. That's why the first commandment is not to put another God before me. But we still do it to this day. Even though we know the truth, I'm going to still go serve this God over here. Because it sounds good. I'm going to dip and dab in this and I'm going to come back. But you in sin if you do that. We got to get it. That's why we go out there every Saturday and try to get our people to get them understanding what is they doing. Like my God said, we not trying to be evil, no nothing. Like he said in Ezekiel, our face got to be hard towards you. We got to get you to understand. That's the only way you're going to listen. Like we got to be stern with y'all. Like the Most High is stern with us, we got to be stern with y'all out there. Yeah. We shouldn't have to be stern and be hard on y'all so to get to understand what's going on. We should come to you with excuse me, sloppy. Like it said in Proverbs 15, a soft word. We should come to you softly to get you to understand. We should come to after you like, we shouldn't have to do that. Because we know he said we hard-headed and stiff. We don't want to hear what you say. So this is why we try to prove to you today, we got to come up out of this. This slumber, it's a deep slumber on our people today. And it's getting deeper and deeper. And we try to show y'all to come up out of it before it's too late. Because once it's too late, there's no turning back. When Christ come back, ain't no saying, oh, forgive me. He going to slaughter you right then and there. Because he going to show you, where have you keep my commandments at? I had people come out there and show you, you want to hearken to listen, you turn the other way, you turn the other cheek. You don't want to hear them. So now I got to judge you right here and there. And your judgment going to be death.
Let's go to Ephesians 5. Let's start at 13 through 17.
13 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, starting at verse 13. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he says, awake, thou that sleepest.
Awake, you that who are asleep, you the one who are not trying to keep the laws, commandments, you the ones who are in the world and everything goes, read.
And arise from the dead.
Arise from the dead, because you are walking dead. You're walking with no life in you. But because you wake up and breathe, you think, hey, I'm breathing, I got life. That's not life. This life that we're living is not the life that he gave to us. He gave us the life of immortality, life without death, life to be on top, to rule. We don't want to rule. We want to be the followers. We want to do whatever every other nation is doing. Hey, if they got pink and blue hair, guess what we done? We got yellow, green, and orange here. We took it to the next limit. Whatever they do, we overdo it. We don't want to keep the laws. We want to walk in as the dead. Keep on going.
And Christ shall give thee light.
And Christ will give you light. He came to give us light because he was the light of the world. He was the law in the flesh. He didn't know no sin. He had no sin. He was the light. And only through him that you will enter into the kingdom. He says you must come through me first. Because the Father is not hearing us. Because we have filthy rags. We're not even worthy. We should have been dead. Because we've been so disobedient. Our forefathers, we shouldn't even be here. Nation of Israel should have been gone. But he loved us so much that he had to repent from saying, hey, I should kill him. He had to repent from that thing. Because deep down he didn't want to do it because, hey, he gets mad too. He had the same attribute. He have good times. He have happy days. Hey, guess what? He have days that we disappoint, and we have also days that we make him happy. Which day do you want to have tomorrow? What do you want to do? Do you want to live or do you want to stay amongst the dead? Live, Israel. Come back to these laws, commandments, and statutes. Come on,
Verse 15.
yeah.
Verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Let's walk in this truth. Let's walk as wise, not as the foolish that walks around and not knowing that he's asleep. He thinks that he knows all. Slumber, he don't even know the word slumber. He don't even know what it means. Come back to the Father, keeping his laws, commandments, and his statutes. Let's go to Amos, precept. No, John 6 and 63.
The book of John, chapter 6, and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
It's the spirit. The flesh is nothing. Because the flesh is nothing but filthy rags. It's the spirit that he put into us that makes us rich.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
They are spirit. The words, this book right here, that's our life right there. That's what keeps us. But he's keeping us only through the grace. He's only giving us so long. Our grace time is coming to an end. You know, hey, he can't take no more. Look at what's going on. And we have spoken about this all night. Each brother has brought out these wicked things that we constantly doing. The wicked ways that we follow. We don't want to keep his laws. We don't want to love each other. We don't want to put him on high. We want to put him on the back burner and think of ourselves. Let's come up out of this. Israel, you are a great nation. Be this nation that he created. Let's get back on high to where we should be at. Continue. That was it. All right, let's go to Acts 28, 26, and 27.
And you know when brothers are sleeping too, when you tell a brother that you have to keep a beard on his face, a simple command, a simple law to do, just a simple thing to do. Keep a beard on your face. Brothers is so sleep at times where they shave it up because they want to impress a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Or they want to hide their grays. I'm gonna cut my beard off because I don't want to look old for the ladies. That's a sleeping brother. But he'll say, and these are brothers. I'm talking about brothers that say they believe that they're Israelites and that they know that this is the truth, that they still try to work their way into the kingdom by saying like God understands where I'm at. He knows that I believe that we're the Israelites, but he knows that I'm trying to look for a woman. So in order for me to look for a woman, I gotta dress myself up. So I want to hide my grays. Brothers is wicked out there like that, man. We got brothers out there. I talked to a brother that said that. You know, so we got to understand that he sleep. He may have his eyes cracked, but he still sleep. To the point where you feel like you want to look good for a woman because you want to impress her instead of following the Most High. Last time I checked, Matthew 10 says anyone that love mother, daughter, sister, brother more than me are not worthy of me. Keep the beard on your face, man, and you'll be surprised. The woman will like you with a beard on your face anyway because you look like a man.
Not a molester.
Right, not a little child molester, a little bald cheek man. Walking around with bald cheeks. That's crazy, man.
Pause. No D.
Right, okay. No Diddy. Where we at?
Acts 28, 26 and 27.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 28, verse 26. Say, go into this people and say, hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and not perceive.
Okay. And he's saying the same thing. He said, go unto my peoples, give them this word, give them understanding. And guess what they say? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. What you saying is like mumble. That's what they hear when we're out there saying. This is what they hear to their ears. Because they are dumb. They have no understanding, and they don't want no understanding. Continue.
Verse 27. For the heart of this people is wax gross.
Wax, because it ain't nothing you can do. You can't bring them out of this belief that they have. They are waxed into their old ways. They don't want to be bald new. They don't want to be brand new. They want to stay just where they're at. I like my old me. And then when you come around, what's wrong with you? You ain't changed. Yes, I ain't changed because now I know the truth. I have come into the light. I've come out of that darkness where we all were at one time. Because all of us, the brothers here right now, we always there at one time. But when we came into this truth, we changed. Because now we know what's expected of us. We know what God's expected of us. We know we have to worship him. We know we have to keep his laws, commandments. We know we have to love him with all our heart and soul and mind. And to love the Messiah who came and gave his life that we may have a chance to life, for life. But without him, we are dead men and women. We have nothing. All right, continue. Is that it?
Nope. And their ears are dull of hearing.
Dull of hearing. He got wax in his ears. He didn't let it build up so much. He can't hear nothing. Just like I was just saying, we just spoke on that. What we're out there saying, they don't hear it. It's going one ear and out the other. What did he say? Oh, can you repeat that? No, I don't think so. I don't like that. Say something else that I can go along with, that I'm in agreement with you with. But when it comes to this, they don't want to hear that. They wax his ears, they're closed. Continue.
Turn to Charlie Brown.
And their eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
He said we should be converted. So hey, we should want this understanding. But hey, do we want to be healed? Do we want to be that new creature? No, we want to stay that old creature. We don't want the healing that the Most High has for us. The Most High, that healing that he has for us is righteousness with each other. Righteousness towards your wife. Righteousness towards your marriage. You're not going out there whoring yourself out. Your wife not going out there having another relationship with another woman because you ain't satisfied, as she says. But where's your satisfaction come? Satisfaction comes from the laws, commandments, and the statutes. Everything else he's going to bring on to you. That in a relationship with you and your wife, that time you in the bedroom, hey, that's for only a minute. But this is forever. This never ends. This feeling that we have a feeling of joy. Every day when we can wake up and get some more understanding, some more knowledge, and understanding of this book and these laws and commandments, because it's more than 10. It's 613 commandments. And we're just on the brink of really understanding not even a third of them, because we're still learning. Every day you wake up and you go in something, you see something different that's come to an understanding, coming to the full knowledge of it. Because wisdom is the knowledge of God. If you trust in him and keeping his laws and commandments, that's wisdom. That's the start of it. He's going to bring all things onto you. That's it? Okay, let's go to Amos 5, 20, 23.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, starting at verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
Shouldn't the day when he bring them the angels unto us, he's going to darken the whole earth. It's going to be without light when them chariots come. Hey, it's not going to be light. It's going to be darkness. He's telling you. It's going to be, hey, you're going to be looking for that day. You're not going to see it. And it's going to be broad daylight. Hopefully. That, hey, because we're going to run. Not us. But some of us we still going to be scared. But we're going to know what it is. We're going to know the song, Swing Down, Sweet Chariot, Coming Home to Carry Me Home. That's an old Hebrew song that we sung here. Because we knew about the chariots. Even back then, we knew what they were. We knew that was the Most High and his son. That's the way they traveled. And that the angels was there with him. So you swing down, swing low, sweet chariot. We ready to go, Yahweh. We're ready. Just help us get your peoples ready, that we can get out of here. Continue.
Even very dark, and no brightness in it. I I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
He hates the days. He hates these holidays that America keeps. Every one of them is not one that he's in agreement with. He give us the whole holidays. He give us Passover, New Moon, the Sabbath. These are the holy days. Day of sacrifice, Day of atonement. These are the days he's give us to celebrate. Them are the days we come together. And we don't come together. We come together in love. We don't have arguments and fights. We come enjoy each other, enjoying these laws, the commandments, and the statutes that he's given us. And we can come in that way. And our children get along because they're in the studies with us also. They know how to treat each other also because they're learning, just like we are. We have this understanding and this love for each other. That is nothing that neither one of us do for each other. If I got it, they got it. If I need it, I got it. They're there for me. And this is what we need with Israel. So Israel, come back. Continue.
Even very dark and no brightness in it. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs.
And the songs we thinking that he's hearing. You go up in the church, they doing all that hooping now. He's not hearing them songs. He's not hearing C.C. Weiner. He's not hearing them songs. It's not good. It's not pleasant to his ears. Hey, these other artists who's in this gospel singing, who goes up in that Christian church on Sunday and perform because they're on stage, because that's what it is. They're there to perform, just as the pastor. He's there. He's a hired performer. He's hired there to make you feel good, to give you a good sermon and move on. Drop your money. I'll see you next Sunday. And guess what? I'm going to tell you almost the same sermon I just gave you. It ain't going to uplift you. Actually, definitely, when you get done, you go out to your car, you light up that cigarette the same way you had that cigarette before you went in there because you're defiling your body. He don't tell you that. He don't tell you, hey, you're going out there. Once he leaves there, he's going to his mistress' house. He's going to lay hands. You think he's telling his wife that? No. But then later on, you come back, hey, he had had a child outside the church, within the church membership, but outside his marriage. But guess what? The first thing they say, oh, forgive me for I have sinned. Yeah, this is what they tell you. Ain't you heard it? T.D. Jakes just said it. Even if I've done it, he knows me. I asked him to forgive me. He knows what he's been doing. You know, he knows it's been brought to the forelight. Nothing in the dark that's not going to stay. It's coming to the light. I don't care who you are, how great you are. It's coming. Because, hey, nothing in the dark does any good. Anything else?
That's the last of it. For I would not hear the melody of thy vow.
Okay. Let's go to coming to an end. Proverbs 19, 15 and 16.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, starting at verse 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep.
Sloppiness cast into a deep sleep. Hey, he says, don't wait to come on to me. Because if you wait from day to day and say, hey, I'm going to do it tomorrow, guess what? You're going to fall right back into that sleep. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to even think about it after 2 days. You made a promise. Hey, don't promise to the Father and that you don't keep it. Because guess what? He don't forget that. He holds that. That's a strike against you. You're promising him something that you have no intention of keeping. Continue.
And an idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul,
He that keepeth his commandment, keepeth his own soul. That soul is going back to the Father once we leave here. This body, this flesh, is going back into dust. You going back into the soul is going back to who gave it to you. It goes back to the Father. And you go back into them, the holy chambers, into that day of judgment. And hopefully, that day of judgment is the greatest day of your life. Because you done all he said. Hey, I gave my best. I worked the best works I could do. I kept it all to the best of my knowledge. And I love my brother. So he can say at the end of the day, well done. Hey, come in. But you must prove yourself yet. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to prove yourself here. Not to him, but prove it to yourself that you're worthy to go into the kingdom. That you love your brother as yourself. That you love him and have no other God before him. Because idol is not just another God, because anything you have could be a God. A car, a house, your child. You can make him a God or her a God over that you got. Because you put her up over a pedestal and you don't think about who gave you that child. It was the Most High. And the firstborn is supposed to have been given over to the Most High. Now our firstborn is given to this world. You know, hey, oh, he's going to be a singer. Oh, I'm already got him, already started playing basketball. He's 2 months old. That's what he's going to be, our baseball player. Hey, this is what we do with our children. We already get them programmed at an early age. Put them in acting school. Have them around here with little tight pants on them. And got them a training bra at 7 years old. You know, it's crazy. And our daughters, these little kids around here, little girls, 7, 8 years old, walking around with tight pants on. Got fingernail polish on their fingers and their toes, and got weave in their hair already. We're already on our children out at an early age. This we need to get back. We need to get back into the laws and commandments. And who's that's going to bring the laws and commandments to our women? You need a man. You cannot go and say, hey, I don't need a man. Hey, because he's the one who can bring the laws and commandments. He's the one who brings your order into your house. Because right now, you don't have order into your house. Your son is ruling over you. He's going to tell you if you bring a righteous man in there, oh, he can't stay here. He got to go. But let him go bring one of them wicked ones out here who dot in your eye every month. Or he's selling drugs, and now he got your son out there. Now it's okay. Now y'all in agreement. That's backwards. God say laws and commandments is my way. My truth in the light. Is that it? On that, we hope that we put some edification onto you, and that we bring out some wisdom and knowledge and understanding to these laws, commandments, and what slothfulness is. It's just a part of sleep. We need to wake up. We need to come back to these laws, commandments, and the statutes. Because as soon as we can do that, the sooner we can get back into our land, Israel, and serve our Elohim, Yahweh. And with that, I want to say shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.